Cody Rhodes just revealed some very eye-opening information, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's going on with Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, and more. Starting things off with some very heartbreaking news for Rhea Ripley, and that's the news of another serious injury. Rhea made a surprise appearance on the October 29th edition of NXT, and surprisingly enough, there was also some big advancements to Liv and Rhea's storyline. While leaving the Performance Center, Rhea was ambushed and attacked by Liv and Raquel and left in a pile of her own blood. WWE then reported the following afternoon that Rhea Ripley will be out of action indefinitely with a fractured right orbital socket. So when this news first dropped, fans had no idea what was going on and was wondering if it was just a storyline injury to extend the Liv and Rhea's feud a bit longer. But reports claim that Rhea's injury is legitimate, but it did not happen during the NXT ambush attack. Rhea was injured during a headbutting moment with Liv and Raquel from the October 21st edition of Raw. What we saw with the NXT attack was Rhea Ripley being written off, and them using that attack as the storyline reason why she had that legitimate injury. So it's very unfortunate news for Rhea Ripley. This whole feud with Liv Morgan did start with Rhea getting injured during a backstage moment with Liv Morgan. And now, WWE has decided to credit Liv Morgan's character as the reason behind the real orbital injury within the storyline as well. So that's raising the stakes and making things even more personal for the feud. Liv Morgan is now credited for taking Rhea Ripley out of action twice within a few months apart. WWE did not provide a time frame for Rhea's recovery and return and left it completely up in the air. But the average recovery time for this injury for a collision sport is right around 8 to 12 weeks. And assuming that Rhea's specific injury requires all 12 weeks of recovery time, that will leave her ready to return right around early January. And you're probably already guessing where everyone's mind is going with that one. Fans think WWE will hold on to Rhea's return for the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble, have her win the whole thing, and then go on to her third and final matchup against Liv Morgan at WrestleMania 41. That appears to be the most obvious turn for the Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley storyline, following this new injury for Rhea. Some fans really don't like that direction for Liv and Rhea because they think it's a bit too obvious and predictable. And that's absolutely true. This is the downside to this story direction for Liv and Rhea. It'll be a direction that everyone can see coming, no real shock factor to it at all. If Rhea returns at the Royal Rumble, that all but confirms that we're seeing Liv and Rhea face off at WrestleMania 41. Some fans are feeling a bit mixed about this change because everyone was ready to see Liv and Rhea move on to new programs. But considering the nature of how Rhea was written off of WWE television, this Liv and Rhea feud will certainly continue and extend potentially mid-2025. So fans don't really know how to feel about that just yet. They're not sure if there's enough story left to drag this feud all the way to April 2025 for WrestleMania 41, but it certainly looks like that's the plan WWE is going with. So expect this feud to absolutely continue into 2025 once Rhea Ripley returns from this injury. Rhea broke her silence on the new injury by saying Liv and Raquel's biggest mistake was that they left her still breathing. Liv responded to the news of Rhea's injury by posting 6 laughing emojis. Rhea's injury and absence will of course open up a gaping hole in the women's division on Raw. Assuming the plan is to resume Liv versus Rhea for WrestleMania season, that means Liv is going to need some filler feuds to keep her busy until then. So this opens up a big door of opportunities for the Raw women's roster. Who could find themselves as the new #1 contender for Liv's title while Rhea is gone? Well, there's a few strong options on Raw. First one is Zelina Vega. Zelina has some unfinished business with Liv Morgan after Dominic screwed Zelina out of her own win over Liv. So revisiting Zelina versus Liv should absolutely be on the table. The other possible option is Lyra. Lyra is a former NXT Women's Champion. She's a highly respected competitor, so it would be a nice opportunity for her as well. The other big, but probably unlikely option due to her unknown contract status is Becky Lynch. Becky is someone who is screwed out of the Women's World title due to Liv and Dominic's antics in back-to-back matches before her hiatus. So it would make sense for Becky Lynch to immediately come for Liv Morgan if she should return to Raw. So it looks like that's what the scene will look like for the women's world title, at least until mid-2025. Liv will have some filler feuds to close out the year, and then Rhea vs. Liv will come back on for WrestleMania 41 season. Now let's actually jump sides over to Smackdown and how things could be looking for the WWE women's title heading into WrestleMania 41. If you take the rumors of Charlotte's upcoming return to SmackDown and pair that up with the fact that Tiffany Stratton is Miss Money in the Bank, fans get the strong sense that WWE's plan for WrestleMania 41 is to have Tiffany versus Charlotte for the WWE women's title. If you really take a second to look at everything that's happening on SmackDown, it really feels like a collision course is being set up for Tiffany and Charlotte to meet on the grand stage. That feud could have a narrative that fits Charlotte Flair's character. Assuming that Tiffany will be the full-blown babyface champion by the time WrestleMania rolls around, that means Charlotte will be in the heel role for WrestleMania 41. So the story looks like it will include Charlotte Flair trying to prove to everyone that Tiffany's time isn't quite here just yet and Charlotte still runs things. Charlotte will be looking to put a quick end to Tiffany's reign and retake her throne in the WWE as champion, and with her 15th WWE World title. While Tiffany would be trying to overcome this massive challenge, you have to face the great Charlotte Flair on the WrestleMania stage. Not an easy task at all. And we've seen Charlotte and young stars' title reigns before. Just go back to WrestleMania 36, where Charlotte put an end to then the 22-year-old Rhea Ripley's NXT World title reign. So given her track records, Charlotte can not only hang with the younger stars, but she can absolutely beat them as well. Tiffany Stratton was straight up asked about the rumors and rumblings of potentially facing Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 41, and she had this to say about that potential matchup, quote, "I really hope it does. Whether it's this WrestleMania or the next one, I'd love to see it. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I think she'll be back soon. Honestly, I'm not even sure where she is right now, so we'll just have to wait and see," end quote. So fans really get the feeling that this is the match WWE is going with for WrestleMania 41, but we'll have to wait and see if that turns out to be true. During a recent appearance on the Flagrant podcast, Cody Rhodes opened up about how he expected WWE to sue him and come after him legally for his 2016 departure. Cody confirmed that he didn't handle things the professional way by asking for his release from WWE. He instead told the head of talent relations that he will not see him next week, and then Cody announced that he was done with WWE through a single tweet at that time. Cody said that he never officially signed his release forms from the company after that. They even sent it to his home, but he still never signed it. Cody said that that whole situation gave WWE every right to come after him legally, but they never did. Cody said it was a huge risk on many levels, but he just felt like he had to make that move in 2016 and bet on himself. Even though he knew of the potential legal troubles, Cody had a feeling WWE would never come after him due to everything he did in the company since he first arrived and how he always did what he was told to do for so long. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.